Okay, dear students and dear watchers, in the final lecture, all about that is the narration. I'm going to talk about something quite important regarding the narration topic. These things are quite important for all the learners and watchers. The first thing in this lecture I'm going to talk about that is the modals, the modal verbs. Modal verbs like shall, will, can, may change in reported speech. All these things will be changed when someone converts a sentence from a direct into an indirect speech. Let's follow some examples. Like we say, direct. John said, I'll be there. Now look at the indirect one. John promised that he would be there. John promised that he would be there. Will is changed into word. Fine. Direct. The boy said, may I come in? The boy said, may I come in? Indirect. The boy asked if he could come in. If he could come in. So look at the may, and it has been changed. Note, may becomes could when it implies permission. Fine. May I come in? Could he come in? Like if we convert it like this. Fine. Look at all these examples. Derek, I may not call you, said Bobby. Indirect. Bobby said that she might not call me. She might. I may not call you. She may not call me. Find all the pronouns in all the models have been changed. I shall practice more, said Barbara. Barbara said that she would practice more. She would practice more. I shall. She would. Okay. Derek, Joseph said, shall I buy the car? Joseph, indirect. Joseph asked if he should buy the car because this is a question sentence, okay? Shall becomes should if it implies a question, fine? Shall becomes should if it implies a question. And there we have converted the shall into the word because that is not implying a question. Modal verbs like could, should, need, must, might, used do not change in reported speech. How? Like see. Dad, she said, I would not be with victim. Indirect, she said that she would not be with the victim. Fine, see, so look at the word would has not been changed yet. David say, you need to repair the car. David said, I need to repair the car. Fine. Another one, Mary said, I used to love dancing. I used to love dancing. Mary said that she used to love dancing. Used to has been remained the same in all the other modal verbs. Adverbs and demonstratives. Now look at the adverbs and demonstratives. Indirect speech differs from the direct speech time and place. Definitely. When someone is conveying the message to the listener, the speaker might not be on the same day or place. Okay, that is not a direct to face-to-face conversation. So the demonstrative like this, that, etc. and the adverb of time and place here, there, today, now, etc. change. For example, if we have a word in the direct, fine, that is now. That shall not remain the same in the indirect speech because we change it and now become then or at that moment. Fine. The next one is today. Today becomes that day in the indirect speech. Tomorrow becomes the next day. And yesterday becomes the day before. And come, go, bring, take, this, that, all these adverbs and demonstratives, these change when we convert a sentence from the direct into an indirect speech. Now we will look at some examples of all these demonstratives and adverbs in sentences. Examples. Derek, I said, Simon read words yesterday. I said that Simon read what was the day before. The day before, not yesterday, because that is an indirect speech now. Derek, mother said, come home now. Mother ordered me to go home at that moment. Now has been changed into at that moment. Bring the money with you, said Jesse. Indirect, Jesse demanded to take the money with me. Okay, to take the money, bring the money, to take the money. We have already talked about bring has been changed into take. The lover said, we will meet here tomorrow. Indirect, now look at this. The lovers promised to meet there the next day. Tomorrow means the next day in the indirect speech, fine? The final the most important part of this topic is direct and indirect speech with universal truth sentences. All these sentences which show universal truth, okay, how we can change those sentences into an indirect speech from a direct. Now we are going to talk about all these things. For making indirect speech of universal truth sentences, when we convert universal truth sentences, sentences which show a universal truth, which shows a universal truth, the reported speech is not changed even if the reporting form of speech is in past tense. Look at some example. The reported speech is never changed. Okay, if the reporting speech is in the past tense, fine, and the reported is in the present, but it is talking about a universal truth that can never ever be changed. Look at the examples. Mark said sun is hot. Mark said sun is hot. Mark said that sun is hot. Fine, the sentence remains the same because that is a universal truth. Sun is always hot. Mark said honesty is the best policy. Mark said that honesty is the best policy. It's always the best policy. Mark said, I wake up at 8 a.m. every day. Mark said that he wakes up at 8 a.m. every day because that is a routine that is happening now and then, now and then. This is also a type of sentence which cannot be changed. A universal truth sentence is that which is an accepted fact. That is an accepted fact, like we say God is one, that is an accepted fact. Fine. A general truth, that may be a general truth. A habitual action, like we were talking about that he wakes up at 8 a.m., that is also a habitual action. Study the examples below to get more understanding. He said 2 and 2 make 4. That is an accepted fact. When you add 2 with 2, so it will become 4. It's a general truth, an accepted fact. She said sun sets in the west. Sun sets in the west. It's also universal truth. He said after dinner I walk 3 km daily. Habitual action. That is his habit. Fine. Rules for universal truth sentences. Fine. What are the rules? How we can convert these sentences from a direct into an indirect speech? The reported speech part remains same. The reported speech part remains same. The reported speech means inside the inverted commas that remain the same. Only we remove the inverted commas and we put that over there. Conjunction that is used to connect reporting and reported speech instead of the inverted commas. Okay. If the reported speech is an interrogative sentence, replace the conjunction that with if, whether, ask, inquire, demand, etc. We have already talked about question sentences. All other rules of speech would be followed. The final note of this sentence you must learn, you must put in your mind, you must keep this thing in your mind and never forget all about that. Sentences having reporting speech in present indefinite, reporting speech outside the inverted commas, the tense will remain the same while converting them into an indirect speech. The tense will remain the same. The reported speech will remain the same and it will never change. How? See, Derek, she says I'm ill. She says that she is ill. She says that she is ill. Now see, says remain the same, she remain the same, and the tense is also remaining the same. Thank you for watching us. Stay with us, and we have already completed the topic and the lecture about the narration.